This is going to be a user manual for the RentoMax property management system. All right, to start, we are going to look up Salesforce login. And the first link right here will bring us to the login screen. This is where you enter your username and password that's given to you by your system administrator. And we can go ahead and log in. This is going to bring us to the setup page for our application. On the top left, we can look at the app launcher, the home page right here with a quick find menu. This will give us access to users, data, email, and many other platform tools. And we can click on the object manager over here. Most of these are going to be the standard objects. We can filter by last modified to see the objects for the RentoMax management system. All right, and in property, there's fields and relationships. This is going to define what information is stored in each of the objects. That was just a quick example with the property object. All right, and now to get into the application, go to the app launcher at the top left, view all, and at the bottom, we can click on RentoMax Management System. All right, so it is going to drop us into the home page to start. The home page will contain a lot of general information about properties, units, tenants, and cases as well. So right here at the top, we can see the RentoMax dashboard, and we can refresh it to get the most up-to-date information. This is going to give us a general overlook of some of the day-to-day information that you might want to see. And this is going to be based off reports that I will show you about later. Down at the bottom, you have access to all of the recent records. Recently accessed the RentoMax dashboard, a few different reports as well. And this is where you can bookmark important information. Going back up to the top, we have the case status report chart. This groups different cases by status and gives a record count. All right. Going over to properties. So we can see property name, address, property manager as well. If we go up here to this dropdown, it's different list views. This is the pinned list. So this is how we want the properties to be organized for the most part. But if you want to look at specific properties that you've viewed recently, you can go here. And it shows a few recently viewed items, and you can go to all as well. There's not a lot of data currently, so these all look the same, but they do have different use cases. All right, so if you want to add a new property, click on new right here, enter a property name, new property 10, property address, 123 Washington Street, property manager name, we'll do Jones. And it will automatically create a unique property ID for the property. So we can save that now. Property 10. And here are all the details containing all the information about the property. When it was created, modified, the ID, the owner as well. Here's recent records. And we can go back into property and see that it was recently added. And if you click on these, it'll filter it. All right, next we can move on to units. It's very similar to properties, shows different features. We have unit ID, rental status, rent, unit type, property as well. You can filter this. Property A, 3, 2, C. Filter by unit type. All right, so create a new unit. When creating a new unit, you have to link it to a property. So we can link it to the property we just created. Unit type, apartment. And if you choose townhouse, then the yard area appears. So we will stay with townhouse. Rental status, we'll do available. No one's currently living in. Rent, 2,000 square foot, 2,500, 3, and we'll say it has a balcony and 400 square foot yard. All right, save that. Here we get all the details about the property. Currently no tenants living in there. We go back. So one we most recently created, we can click on it and it brings us to this page. All right, if we go back to properties, we can check out property 10 and related, and we see the units right here. Unit we just created. All right, moving on to tenants, similar situation to units. Tenants are related to a unit. Let's get the tenant ID, first name, last name, email, move in, move out, unit. Let's create a new tenant. Do Will Smith. Birth. Do random number. Just fill their information for this. And then we can link it to a unit. So we'll do unit 112. It's a 3-bedroom townhome. So 3 people in the household, and then move in and move out date as well. This is the owner right here. Save this information. And this is where you're going to see the cases that it's related to. See the details. Go back to tenants. And we see the tenant we most recently created. Oh, and we go back to units. See the tenants that live in this unit. So in the related section. All right. Next, we will check out the cases tab. So cases is going to have 2 different queues, one for electrical cases and one for plumbing cases as well. So we can click on these. Electrical cases and the plumbing cases. Every time you create a new case, it'll ask if it's electrical or plumbing, and it will add it to the queue. So we like to stay in the cases tab or the pinned list. It gives us the cases for the RentoMax application. So we have the case number, status, priority of the case owner as well. The date and time is opened and the date and time is closed. And this isn't going to be filled out until you resolve a case. And then the tenant it's linked to, for the tenant who submitted the maintenance request, and the type of case over here. All right, so we create a new case. So this is where you select type of case, electrical or plumbing. We can go with plumbing. We'll link it to the most recent tenant. Status pending, since we just started it with plumbing case. Priority, we will do high. And then we'll do phone. So this is not necessary information, but description is going to be necessary. Leak in kitchen sink. See, was added to the plumbing queue. The details over here. We can go back to tenants. Related. And the case is linked to this tenant. So when a case is created, it will add it to the queue, and that will automatically be sent out to the maintenance staff member based on the assignment rules. Another key feature for cases is going to be the escalation rule. So we can go over to the setup and check that out real quick. Escalation rules. Case escalations. All right, we can search. See, we just created this case. And then within 48 hours, it will escalate the case for the system administrator to handle. All right. And next we will be getting into the reports. And this is going to be good for property managers and the maintenance staff to get a detailed look on some key information about properties, tenants, and cases. So we have a few different report types. We'll start at the top. Look at the case status report. To view this, we want to press run right here. And as we can see, only 6 records right now. The record count, and this is what's shown on the homepage as well, grouped by the status. All right, so we have pending, in process, resolved, and escalated. Gives us the case number, type of case, date and time it opened. This is going to be good for maintenance staff to see what cases need to get done and which ones are being taken care of currently. All right, we'll look at the case unit property report. Run this. So this is going to group by property and then by units. So we can see that this unit, unit 100, has 5 different cases linked to it. So clearly they are in need of a lot of help. All right, so that's the general gist of the reports. You run the reports, and the description is very important to understanding what the report's going to be about as well. Next, we can go over to the dashboards. So this is the RentoMax dashboard. We open this up, refresh this to get the most recent data. You can run through what some of these mean. So the tenant unit type report breaks down by the unit type. So we have 4 townhouse units or tenants in townhouses, 5 in apartments. The unit property report, so it's going to break down the sum of the rent for each property. And this is going to give a little bit more detail to that based on the rental status of each property. Next, we have the tenant unit rental status report. So we can see how many properties are rented, how many are available, and unavailable as well. Then the case type report breaks down based off electrical or plumbing case, gives a record count. And this is similar to the previous unit property report, except we're going to be grouping by the unit type as opposed to the rental status. And this is going to be a case unit property report. So group by the property and then filter by the type. It gives a count of the records. Similarly, this is going to be based off of the status of the case and then the date or time that it was opened. So it can help to prioritize different cases based on when they were submitted. And this is similar to the property grouping, except it's by unit instead. All right. So that is all of the navigation items that we are going to be going through for the user manual. If you need any more help with the system, feel free to reach out to us, our team, at our email, and we will be happy to help. Thank you.